Love all. Love all the time. Love all. Love all the time. Love is an energy. Love is an energy. Love exists everywhere. Love exists everywhere. Love is an inside out feeling. Love is an inside out feeling. Love increases by giving. Love increases by giving. Love is universal. Love is universal. Love is acceptance. Love is acceptance. Love is abundance. Love is abundance. Love was, love is, and love will be the answer. Love is, and love will be the answer. Love is sensitive. Love is sensitive. Love is a teacher. Love is a teacher. Love originates from the heart, spreads throughout. Love originates from the heart, spreads throughout. No rules in love, love rules. No rules in love, love rules. Love is pure, love has no competition. Love is pure, love has no competition. Love has no comparison. Love happens. Love has no comparison. Love happens.
Can we start off with Aum chanting?
ಈಗ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯದ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನಿಸೋಣ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್, ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆನ್ ಒನ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್.
ஒரு விஷயத்துல கவனிக்கலாங்க. Very, very gently. Please open your eyes. Namaste. Vanakkam. Pranamagalu. I'm in Chennai today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow for a 2-day Tamil training program. What a boon technology has been for us. Each and every aspect of life, how we use it makes all the difference. Welcome to one more episode of Health Massiahs. We are becoming stronger physically, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually. And the byproduct being, we will definitely improve financially as well. The topic for the day, the topic for the week is relationship and health. By improving our relationship, can we improve our health? Let's find out. The speaker for the day is a person who has completed his BSc, MBA, and PhD in alternative medicines. And I think this is the person whom we are looking forward for. He loves trekking, reading, and speaking. This is his formal introduction, and which he always keeps it very short, very humble. But there are so many other things which is not found on his resumes. I know this gentleman from 1998. He's been such a loyal person, such a humble human being. And whatever he does, either in his professional work or his personal work, he does it with absolute precision. If I have seen Amir Khan in movies, as we call him as a perfectionist, and I have seen this gentleman as a perfectionist, the way he speaks. Maybe that's why he was able to complete CTM, ATM, and in International Toastmasters is a distinguished International Toastmaster, DTM. It takes a lot of dedication and excellence to complete that. I saw this gentleman in 1998 in Winner's Workshop. From that time, we are in touch. 5 years back, I had called him to judge one of our competition. And even till date, many of us in our academy, in our foundation, remember his services. And today, he's going to enlighten us on a relationship and health. By improving our relationship, can we improve our health? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us all put our hands together and welcome Shriyuta Ramlal on to the Zoom screen. Ramlal ji, all yours.
Thank you, sir, for that great introduction. Simply superb. I would love to hear that over and over again.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I have not heard such great introductions, especially relating to personal self. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when we were born, we were not given a manual as to how to deal with people. All our problems originate because of our interactions with human beings around us. And our health greatly depends on that because our interactions improve our health. If they're loving, if they're caring, if they are interesting, they certainly help improve ourselves. Now, on a Zoom platform, you will only see me, see my face. But on a stage, you can see me literally burning, right?
Absolutely.
I can't do that now because then I'll have to upset my neighborhood. They're all sleeping still, right? So let's get into, we were not given a manual, but there's a gentleman somewhere in the 1920s who wrote a book on human relationships. Okay. We don't have a manual as such. So this is a Bible on relationships. If you follow the principles given in this book, I'm sure you will interact with people tremendously well, and you will also improve your health, and your health contributes to your wealth as well, because they say health is wealth. I mean, all our lives, we collect a lot of assets, and towards the end, we spend all that to improve our health. So why not, retain our health while we are earning, right? And for that, relationships are very, very important because man is a social animal. We need to interact with people. There's no way we can live without people around us. And he has propounded a few principles. The name is Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie, and the title of the book is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a Bible on human relationships. Those of you who have not read it, I urge you to read it because this book can transform you, right? So let's get into the principles that he's talking about. The first principle is, he says, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. We normally are, programmed to criticize, condemn, and complain because right from childhood we've been taught that. We've been programmed in the sense our society teaches us, our friends teach us, in fact, at home also we learn a lot of things to criticize, condemn, because whenever the parents are criticizing, complaining, the children also tend to do that. Why should we not criticize, condemn, or complain? If you interview a person who has just stolen something, if you talk to him, he will always project himself as a good man. He got into that state entirely because of his circumstances. You ask anyone for that matter. Everybody will give a reason for his behavior, his or her behavior. A person who has stolen, a person who has lied, they do it entirely because there is some reason to protect themselves. They do that. So if a person who has done a wrong act can always, justify his action, imagine what you and I should do. Because we're all good people. We generally don't tend to do such actions. So normally even great criminals also justify their actions. If it is true for them, we also feel like justifying our actions. So it's always good to respect a person's, behavior. Understand why he's behaving the way he's behaving. There should be some reason for his behavior. There should be some reason why he's acting the way he's acting. If you understand that, then that is the first, progress in your relationships, in your health. That helps you. In fact, Dale Carnegie calls us an obnoxious spirit of fault finders. We always find fault in everything that we see, in everything that we deal with. Instead of that, show some love, show some affection. Understand why the person is the way he is or she is. Then you will certainly lead a life of happiness, a life full of health. You will not be at loggerheads with the other person because you're understanding. So don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Dale Carnegie says, any fool can do that. And he says, most fools do it. So let's not fall into that category. Let's try to understand people. Let's try to give affection to them, love to them, because all of us are products of circumstances. So if you understand that, I think we will give up that attitude of. And he goes on to say in that chapter, do you want to perfect somebody? Mr. Balakrishnan also was saying, perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist. I don't know. But, he says in that chapter, do you want to perfect somebody? Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Wonderful. What a lovely idea. Why don't you start with yourself? We are selfish in so many aspects. We want this, we want that, we want. Why not perfection too? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not criticize, condemn, or complain. That is the first principle. The second principle is give honest, sincere appreciation. Give honest, sincere appreciation. Right? He goes on to explain in that chapter. All of us are beings who want to be appreciated. Is there any one of you who is not interested in getting appreciation? All of us crave for appreciation according to him. Remember the word crave. Craving is a very deep word. It's not longing for appreciation. It's not desire for appreciation. It's a craving for appreciation. All of us crave. It comes from deep within. So when that is true of us, same thing is true of others. So why not give honest, sincere appreciation? Because when you do that, people will fall in love with you. Your own health will improve. Because when you appreciate someone, when you applaud somebody, your own well-being inside improves. When you applaud, there's a kind of energy that is generated in you, which nothing in this world can ever generate. So always appreciate people, right? Very many people do charity. You know why they do it? Because they have a craving for recognition. They have a craving for importance. Very many people serve the society in different ways. Why do they do it? Entirely because they want to be recognized. They want to be acknowledged. They're satisfying their feeling of importance. So why not give it to them? Ladies and gentlemen, from tomorrow, meet somebody who has done something good, even if he has not done something good. Appreciate it. Appreciate for the work that Mr. Balakrishnan is doing. Appreciate this service that all of you indulge in from morning till evening. Even when you're serving in an organization, you're doing service. So don't think just because the colleagues are bound to do their work, it becomes a matter of regular doing. No, give them appreciation. Even at home, when somebody helps you, somebody gives you a glass of water, your wife serves you coffee or tea, appreciate it. Maybe there'll be more love the next time in that coffee. There'll be more of sugar in that coffee. Otherwise, the coffee can taste any way that she wants it to be tasted, right? So let's all appreciate. Yeah. You know, Andrew Carnegie is not related to, Dale Carnegie. Okay, Dale Carnegie is the person who wrote this book. Andrew Carnegie was known as the Steel King of America. He had a person working for him, Charles Schwab. He was the highest paid in the steel industry, Charles Schwab. Not because he knew all about steel, not because he knew everything about the manufacture of steel. There were, according to Charles Schwab, there were many people who were working under him who knew more about steel than he did. Yet he was paid the highest salary, entirely because of his interactions with people, his relationships with people. When your relationships with people is good, then your earning also will be good. Your health will also improve. Because most of our health problems originate from relationships, right? Whether it's in the organization or even at home, it's a fact. So if we are able to maintain these in a healthy way, then our health will certainly improve, right? You know, he goes on to say in that chapter, it's very beautiful. Many people go insane to get their feeling of importance. Many people, there are many people. If you go to a mental asylum and then question some of them, just talk to them. They're all perfect people, but they've gone insane entirely because they did not get their feeling of importance in this world, right? If you're a doctor, you can actually analyze them. You will find that there's nothing wrong biologically with them, nothing wrong.
True.
All the problem is because of the psychological issues. They have not got their feeling of importance. They did not get their craving for importance satisfied. Right? So it's always better to give it to people. If people crave so much so that's why I give honest and sincere appreciation. Every act you acknowledge. Now, ultimately, you may be paying someone to do service, but that service can be good or bad depending on the kind of acknowledgement that you do. Right? So if your acknowledgement is good, the service will certainly be good. It's not necessarily in terms of money. right? So it improves my own health when I appreciate people, because I'm always loving, I'm always caring, I'm always interested in the well-being of people around me. So the second principle is give honest, sincere appreciation. And all these, principles actually see you progress materialistically as well. In fact, he has written the book entirely to see that we progress in material terms. But the underlying fact is it also improves our health. Because when our relationships with people is good, I don't think we'll ever fight. We'll ever get into arguments. We'll always try to understand the other person. Right? Okay. Let's go into the third principle. And the third principle is first arouse in the other person an eager want. First arouse in the other person an eager want. Okay? Okay. When you go for fishing, what do you normally take? I love chocolates. I love ice cream. Do I take chocolates and ice cream when I go for fishing?
No,
What do you take?
what the fish loves.
Exactly. I take what the fish likes. If the fish loves earthworms, grasshoppers, I take them for fishing. If I put, chocolates in the fish hook, do you think I'll be able to get enough fish? Certainly not. So when I go for fishing, I take always earthworms. So we're all fishing for the love of people around us. We're all fishing for progress. We're all fishing for health. All these will improve provided we give what the fish wants, what people want. People around us, what do they want? They don't want much from us. They want honest, sincere appreciation. They want acknowledgement. They want to be, not treated badly. No complaining. No, arguing, right? So always remember, we are fishing for the love of people around us. So if you want to attain that, which is going to improve our health, if we get love of people around us, our health will certainly improve. So if we want to do that, then give what they want, what the fish want, what people want. People just want love and affection from you. They want acknowledgement from you, right? They want your service, whatever. In whatever way you can do it, please do that, right? And okay, another thing that you should remember is whenever you go to a person, you go with a certain reason. So always arouse in the other person an eager want. He knows that you've come to him for a certain reason. You also know that you've gone to him with a certain reason. Both of you know the purpose of the meeting. So why take up that first? Why not ask the other person of his well-being? Inquire about his well-being. How are you? What are you? Both of you know why you're meeting each other. It's already known. So arouse in the other person an eager want. Inquire about his well-being, about his health, about his family. And then he is more likely to do your bidding. Because I come to you with a certain purpose. You know that, I know that. But before I state the purpose itself, I ask you, how are you? How do you do? How is your health? How is your wealth? How is your family? So you're more likely to attend to my work than before, right? we straight away go and ask, okay, I mean, what is this? What is this? Right? So that is why our work doesn't get done. Our health also deteriorates. So always first find, and another thing is find out what he or she loves. If you have enough time, if you want to get your work done, if you want your health, wealth to improve, first find out what he or she loves, right? And then start with that. Then come to your assignment, whatever your assignment is. So he's more likely to attend to your work, right or wrong?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a fact. It's natural. All of us are human beings. All of us are human beings. We have the same feelings. We have the same tendencies. We have the same behavior, same nature. So let's understand that. When you understand your nature, you will be better able to understand others' nature. Right? Okay. So make people always feel wanting, okay, to talk to you. Always see things from the other person's point of view before you come to your point of view.
True.
Right? So that way, it's a win-win situation. You see his point of view, I see my point of view, and together we reach an agreement. So that's why, and that will make the other person do whatever you intend him or her to do. So make that arouse in the other person an eager want. You're arousing, you're making him do your bidding. Right? Okay. Supposing you're a salesman. What do salesmen normally do? They make you buy.
Right.
But what is the feeling you get after buying the product? You feel that you have been sold to.
Correct.
If your interaction with the other individual makes him feel that he or she is buying the product of his own volition, then that is a better deal, right?
That's how it is supposed to be.
I must feel that I'm buying it because I want to buy it.
Correct.
You must not sell me because I must not get a feeling that I'm being sold to, that I'm being forced to buy. But most of the salesmen outside, if you find they're selling it. They're not making the customer feel that he or she is buying it. So it all depends on your interactions, your relationships, the language that you use, the communication that you do. It's the same. The deal is the same. Work is the same. I sell, you buy. There's a transaction happening. But after the transaction, how do you feel? How each one feels is very, very important. That determines our health. That determines our relationship with people. So if you're in the selling field, always make the other person feel that he or she is buying it of his own accord. He's buying because he loves to buy. Don't make him. But today's salesmen are not like that. They simply force you to buy. I know that. I've been a banker. You go to a bank for a transaction, they'll try to sell you other products. They'll try to sell you mutual funds. They'll try to sell you life insurance. They'll try to sell you general insurance. Instead of making the customer feel that he's being sold to, make him feel that he's buying it. Then you're a winner, clear winner. Clear winner in terms of transactions, in terms of health, right? So this, it all depends on the kind of communication we do, on the kind of language we use when we are interacting with people. The product is the same, the transaction is the same, right? The language differs. Okay, he goes on. There's one example. Okay, Emerson, I don't know how many of you know Ralph Waldo Emerson, very great English writer.
Writer.
Yeah. Once he wanted to take the calf, calf, you know what a calf is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He wanted to take the calf into the barn. So he and his son, I believe, together, he tried to pull the calf into the barn. The son tried to push the calf into the barn. But the calf did not budge. It was holding on strongly. This was witnessed by Emerson's housemaid. She's not a great writer. She doesn't know about the English language. Not a great, but she understood what the calf wanted. She just went, put her loving finger into the calf's mouth, and gently led the calf into the barn. Great literature. Personality. Like Emerson didn't know that if you want the other person to do what he or she wants, you want her to do, then you have to arouse in the other person an eager want. So lovingly, she led the calf into the barn, which Emerson and his son couldn't do. Great, names in literature. So see how important human relationships are. What they can do to our health and well-being, to our life, right? There's another example that he talks about. I believe there's a young girl who was wetting the bed every night. Okay, even as she grew up, she was doing that. So the parents tried to correct it, but the child wouldn't do it. So what did the father do? He took the child to a salesman, to a shop, and asked the child to buy the bed of his or her liking. So once the child felt that the bed belonged to him or her, he or she stopped wetting the bed.
Wow.
Yes, because you're arousing in the other person an eager want.
Correct.
Earlier they were trying to correct, it did not happen. It happened moment the child felt that the bed belonged to him or her. In fact, even when the child was taken to the shop, the father had already had a conversation with the salesman about the incident.
Superb.
So when
Superb.
when the child went to the shop, it was just a child. So the salesman asked, "What does the young lady want?" Look at the kind of language that the salesman used. So the young lady felt, oh, she's already grown up. She bought the bed of her liking, and then when it was brought home, she saw that it was neatly maintained. So that means if you arouse in the other person an eager want, you will get what you want.
Correct.
Which in turn fosters your health. Right? Yes. Okay, these are the 3 principles that we should remember. There are 6 more, we'll get into them. These next 6 principles will make others like you.
Correct.
Yeah. The first 3 principles are your way of behaving with human beings around us. Okay, the first principle there, how to make people like you. The next 6 principles. Become genuinely interested in other people. The first principle. Right? Become genuinely interested in other people. Okay. We have, let me explain this. We have seen dogs, right?
Correct.
Dogs,
Yeah.
do they give their affection because you give them something? Do they show their
No.
affection because you give them something? Absolutely
Unconditional.
not. Unconditional. Dogs give their affection. They don't, that Dale Carnegie says, they don't work for a living.
Correct.
They get fed automatically because they give away their love. Anytime they meet their, master, simply love. They don't do any work, right? So he goes on to say, the hen has to lay an egg. Okay? The cow has to give milk.
Correct.
They're doing some work. But the dog is one animal which doesn't do any work, but yet earns its livelihood
Livelihood. True.
entirely through affection that it displays.
Correct.
Right? So he says, become genuinely interested in other people.
Others.
Yeah, genuinely interested. So dog doesn't distinguish between whether it's Mr. Bete Rangaya or Mr. Ravi Tejas Venkanna. It doesn't distinguish. It gives the same affection to all. Right? So and I believe these examples will tell us why it is important that we have to be genuinely interested. You know, the New York Telephone Company did a research, I believe. They found out that customers used one word any number of times, millions of times. Do you know what word it is? Anybody? Anybody has an idea? The New York Telephone Company did a research and they found that all of us use one word regularly from morning till evening, millions of times.
Please.
No, please is a very good word.
Okay.
It is the word I.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's the word I.
I.
We're all so immersed in ourselves, right? We all love ourselves so much. It's true of everybody else also, right? So when people are so focused on themselves, why not you display your affection for them? Because you know that everybody wants that I. You have to satisfy that I in them. So if you satisfy the I in people around you, you will be a happier person. Your health will improve. You will progress materialistically. Right? Everybody is concentrating on self. So why don't you acknowledge that? Why don't you become genuinely interested in the other person? Because he is interested in himself or in herself. Right? Okay. I believe Theodore Roosevelt used to do that, one of the American presidents. He was genuinely interested in people, right? And that is the reason why he was promoted to be the president of the United States of America. He was not artificially interested. All of us are artificially interested.
Interesting.
Because only as far as the transaction is there, I'm interested in you. Moment the transaction is over, done. My relationship with you is gone. This happens in a sales relationship, especially in a sales relationship. We see, we buy products from people, right?
Correct.
Do they maintain the relationship after that? Including insurance people. Insurance people are supposed to see that, help you in your life.
Lifelong.
Right? Lifelong, they're supposed to help you. But once the transaction is over, once the policy is given to you, they forget you. They won't service you after that. So that means that is not genuine interest. So we're all artificially interested in people because I'm interested in my progress. So that way we will not get along very far. Okay. So we need to always focus. Oh, already we're trying to reach 6:30. I'm making it. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. For example, if there's a group photograph, whose photograph will you look at first?
Self.
First self, right? All of us. Everybody is so interested in himself or himself. So why not give it to them? Why not we become genuinely interested in them? Right? Our relationships will improve. Our
Health will improve.
Progress will also happen automatically. Okay. The next principle is smile. Smile. This is one, surprising thing. Smile. Small thing. We seldom smile. We are so engrossed in our work, so carried away by what we are doing, we forget to smile. Right? They say you're not fully dressed until you wear a smile. You're not fully dressed until you wear a smile. Anybody else can dress. All of us can dress. But that smile is your unique beauty. That helps you improve your health as well. When you smile, what happens? There are only few, nerves in the face that get activated. But when you frown, so many nerves get deactivated.
Yeah.
So why not smile? Del Carnegie says a lot of things about smile. I think maybe I'll read them a little later.
Okay.
Okay. And there's a Chinese proverb also, which says, a man without a smiling face should not open a shop. Full stop.
That's it.
If you don't have a smiling face, don't open a shop because you will never make business. You will never make profits. So very, very important. It improves your own health as well, right? Improves your face value. We love people who smile. We always hate people who frown, who have long faces. So let's smile, okay? The third principle is, remember that a man's name is the most important sound in any language. Supposing I call Ravi Tejas by any other name, will he respond?
No.
Will he like that name?
Never.
Never. Right? We love our names. Even the dogs love their names. Supposing your dog's name is Moti, you call her Julie, will she respond? Even the dog loves its name, right? So we love our names. So why not call people by their names. Okay, of course, you can add Mr., Miss, whatever, respectfully. Everybody loves his name, right? In fact, there's an anecdote given in that chapter where he says Franklin D. Roosevelt became the president of the United States of America entirely because he knew a large number of names. Entirely because of that. I believe this Franklin Roosevelt, whenever he got a new name, what he would do is, supposing some name he got, Ravi Tejas. So he'll go back home, write down that person's name, and link that name to the person's face. And the next time he meets that person, he will address, "How are you, Mr. Ravi Tejas?"
Correct.
"What are you doing, Mr. Ravi Tejas? What is it that you want?" So that is how he would repeat the name and remember the name. Right? So always try to call people by their names. People love to be, you can't call them by any other. We always say watchman, milkman, vegetable man. Why not call them by names, right? That's the third important principle if you want people to like you. The fourth is be a good listener. Encourage others to listen, others to talk about themselves. Be a good listener. Don't you like to talk about yourself?
Yes.
All of us love to talk about ourselves, right? Most often, when you meet others, you do most of the talking. People will get put off. They'll get put off. Instead, encourage them to talk about themselves. Then they'll love you. They'll say, "Oh, Mr. Ravi Tejas is a wonderful conversationalist." The greatest conversationalist is not the one who talks the most. It's the one who listens the most. Find it out. You just talk to anyone. You just have a interaction with anybody. You will find that people who encourage others to talk are great conversationalists, not the ones who talk about themselves. Because all of us love to talk about ourselves. These are all human, principles that Mr. Dale Carnegie has actually analyzed through 5 years of research work. 5 years before he wrote that book. Remember, you and I just, don't even understand people. He took 5 years to research and understand people before he brought out these principles. So all of us love to talk about ourselves. It's always better to make others talk about themselves and you just be a listener. And very often you will be the winner when you encourage others to talk, right? Okay, there's an example, but I don't know how much time. Let me keep track of the time also. I think let's go to the next principle. You can try it out with friends.
Yes.
Try it out with friends. Talk to certain friends. You do all the talking and see what the friend feels. He will keep away from you. He'll never come to you again. But encourage that person to talk about himself. He'll be always with you. Right?
Correct.
Okay. And most often, most of the life's problems are sorted out by encouraging others to talk. Issues are sorted out. The other person feels relieved. And your health will improve because the relationships improves. Right? Next, the next principle is talk in terms of the other man's interest. Okay? Always talk in terms of other man's interest. Whenever you go to somebody, always ask that person, what are his interests? So When you talk in terms of his interests, he will ask you, why have you come to me?
Correct.
And he will do your work without even your asking. Right? See, there's a beautiful statement here. The royal road to a man's heart is to talk to him about the things he treasures most. The royal road to a man's heart is to talk to him about the things that he treasures most, that he values most.
Most.
Yeah, and I believe Theodore Roosevelt, President of the United States, did that. And that's why he was put in that pedestal, in that position. If you study many of the American presidents, you will get one or the other principles of life, right? Next, the sixth principle is how make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Okay, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Dale Carnegie gives an example. I believe he once went to a post office. And he saw an assistant there with a head full of lovely hair. So he went and said, "Oh, you have a head full of lovely hair." Probably Dale Carnegie was like me and Mr. Balakrishnan. So he couldn't. He's told the assistant. Assistant felt very happy. He did his work, very fast. He attended to Dale Carnegie very fast. So always make the other person feel important, okay? So that you get your work done. Not with an intention to get work done. Don't make the other person feel important. Do it genuinely. And you will see the results yourself. So these are the 6 principles. The first 3 principles, let me summarize. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. That's one. Second one is give honest, sincere appreciation. The third one is first arouse in the other person an eager want. Okay, these are the first 3 principles that we should normally follow. If you want people to like you, there are 6 more principles that they are. Number 1 is become genuinely interested in other people. Second one is smile. Third is remember that a man's name is to him the most important sound in any language. And the fourth is be a good listener, encourage others to talk. The fifth is talk in terms of the other man's interests. The sixth is make the other person feel important and do it sincerely, right? These are the 9 principles. If you follow, your life will be a saga of happiness, a saga of beautiful human relationships, a saga of health, wealth, and well-being. It's a fact. Let me tell you, whenever I have employed these principles, I made a huge network of friends. So huge, honestly, so huge, the network of friendship was so huge that I did not find time for myself. So these principles do work. I have experimented with them. I have lived them. I have experienced them. Right? So they do work. And in the book, Dale Carnegie says, don't use this book as a bag of tricks.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Don't use this book as a bag of tricks, because all these principles, many of them may employ, many of the others may employ, but you must also be careful. Don't use this book as a bag of tricks. It's a new way of life.
Superb. Excellent.
The new way of life. So I urge all of you, I goad all of you, I request all of you to follow these principles genuinely and see the difference it makes to your health, wealth, and well-being. Mr. Balakrishnan.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. And I have seen you personally live this kind of life. And I also told you when I called you on November 16th, the only reason why we are calling you for this topic is will good relationship provide good health? Because I have seen you live through this. Not only propound this, you are living and you are a living role model for many of us as far as a relationship is concerned. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And we would like to see you in person as soon as all this things comes to an end. And it was pleasure having you with us, Ramlalji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And we
Thank you,
can
ladies
already
and
see
gentlemen.
so many
Thank you,
people
ladies and gentlemen.
typing.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome and fantastic and wonderful. You can even, I have not even told them. They're already typing and awesome and wonderful and fantastic. That tells us you have been living through this. It's not just 9 principles. You have made it a way of life.
I wish I had personally interacted with all of them.
Correct. We will do. We will have that time once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
You
so
for
much.
a wonderful morning. You
Thank you. Thank you so much.
you made my day.
You made
All of you
our
made
day. Thank you so much. Thank you.
To begin on a good note.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All of you have a fantastic week and we will meet next Monday morning. Thank you so much.
Bye.